everyone, welcome back to my channel. And if you are new, my name is Stephanie, but you could call me Fanny. So as you may have seen by the title, I will be telling a story of how I lost my baby, my puppy Simba. He was actually not a puppy anymore. He was an adult. He was our first family dog. We had him since I was very little, since me and my sister were very little. And yeah, it was really sad to it was a really difficult time when all of that happened, and I'm just going to be talking about my experience, when it happened, how it happened. And well, yes, if you're interested in seeing this video, please keep on watching. And and also really wanted to say thank you so much for 400 subscribers. Thank you for constantly sharing me on Facebook, Instagram, to those who have been sharing me and letting other people know about me, because that honestly really does help a lot. I really appreciate you so much if you've done that for me. And yeah, let's get right into this video. So to start off with, Simba's breed was half Cocker Spaniel and then half Poodle, which is a Cockapoo. And he was around 11 years old. And yeah, let's get right into the details. I'm trying so hard not to be emotional, because obviously as I'm thinking, like I'm like seeing everything in my head again, and I'm just trying so hard not to be emotional. For that week or so that he wasn't eating like he usually ate, he wasn't completely, like, he didn't completely stop eating. He was eating here and there, so we were like, it's fine, like he's gonna be okay. But once we started looking things on Google and we started seeing all these things, and we started looking for signs to see if it related to him in any way. When we read something about a liver disease, it said that their skin turned yellow. So we like opened his hair, and like his skin was yellow, so we got instantly so scared. And we were just so scared, we didn't know what to do. So oh my god, this is what I didn't want to happen. But okay, and if it was yellow, then it had to be, like, the puppy had to be taken to the hospital as soon as possible, because that wasn't healthy. And then the gums too, they were turning yellow. And that's when we found out that he did have a liver disease, because we googled it and everything was there, everything was showing. So at that moment we were just so sad, and like our hearts were beating so quick, because we knew that we had to take him to the hospital, but we didn't know what was going to happen. We didn't know if we were going to have to put him down, or like what was going to be needed, because he was already old, and we didn't know what to expect at all. So that day, I remember it was the last day of school for me and my little sister, but for some reason I didn't go, or I came out early. I remember that day so, like if it was just yesterday, because the days before the day we took him to the hospital, me and my older sister were really trying to make him feel better. We would take him outside and see if anything changed. Like we were just hoping to get him back. We were just hoping to get his like playfulness and his energy back, and it just wasn't working. So that day, the last day of school, I remember we went to pick up my little sister early. She had no idea, but we just didn't see him okay anymore, and we knew that we had to do something about it, because it wasn't just anything small anymore like we thought. And so once we took him to the first doctor, that's where like my emotions were just mixed. I remember we got there, my heart was pumped, like it was going so fast, and me and my sister didn't know what to expect, because me and my older sister, obviously, since we were bigger, we had him since we were very young, before my youngest sister was born, so we were obviously closer to him than my little sister was. So we were just feeling the same things, and we were just so sad about how he was acting and all that. So once we went to the first doctor, I remember we were so nervous, and we went into the room with my parents. Simba was just, he was just tired. He looked tired. And once the doctor was like, there's nothing I can do about it, me and my sister, we like started bursting into tears, and we left the room. And me and my dad remember this so well, but when we walked out that room, I remember turning around, and then Simba, mind you, he had no energy. We literally had to carry him, and with the little bit of energy he had, he made the effort to like stand up and like look at us, like trying to let us know that it was okay. I'm sorry, I'm really trying not to cry. But he used all the force he had to turn and look at us, and it just felt like he just was telling us that it was fine, that I don't know, like obviously dogs feel. So it was kind of like he was telling us that it was fine, that he, like, basically that he loved us, and that it was his time to go. But I was like in denial, so I was like, no, like in my head I was like, no, like this isn't gonna happen. So after that first doctor, we were like, no, we're gonna keep looking for other doctors. And so we were on Google really quick, and we found a hospital. And so my dad literally tried to drive as fast as he could to that hospital. But once we were super close to there, like the corner basically, my sister had Simba in her arms, and he just got so weird. And he then, since my sister had him in his arms, he went onto the floor of the truck, and then he just passed away there. In that moment, it felt like he didn't want to, in that moment, it looked like he didn't want to pass away in my sister's arms. Like, he wanted to be as far from us as possible. And so I remember me and my older sister just screamed. We screamed and told my dad that he wasn't breathing. And so my dad stepped on it to the hospital as quick as possible. So we got there literally like 2 minutes after he stopped breathing, and we rushed down, and the nurses quickly grabbed them, and they took him behind the room just to make sure that he was like gone, completely gone. And so I remember I still had hope. I was like, I don't know, like something, they're gonna do something and he's gonna be okay, like he's gonna come back. I don't know, like it was just so hard. So I remember he was wrapped in a blanket that we had him wrapped around a blanket, and that's how we gave him to the nurse. And the nurse came back, and she was just like, I'm sorry, like he's gone and there's nothing we could do about it. And so she gave us privacy. She let us be in the room with him, just to say our goodbyes, because he was going to get cremated. I'm sorry, it's just that obviously when you think about something that happened years ago and then you start to remember, it feels like it just happened yesterday. So that's why I'm getting so emotional, because I honestly haven't even thought about this much detail until today that I'm doing this video. And I'm just remembering a lot, like a lot more than what I usually remember, because I'm really trying to be detailed on how it happened and how I felt and how my sister and my family felt as well. And so once we said our last goodbyes, I remember we went back home, and it still felt so unreal. And it was just, I just never thought that losing a pet would hurt that much. I didn't think of it. So once we got home, obviously me and my sister were devastated. We were in my room just crying, 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 crying. We felt no type of relief. We were just so sad, and we couldn't believe what had happened. After so many years, literally for as long as we could remember, he was always there, and the second he was gone, it was so hard on us because we were just so used to having him around. And I remember me and my sister, we would sleep in the same room because we just always have been so close. So one night she slept in my room, or we were even just when we would hang out, she would grab a piece of napkin and put it like where Simba was always laying down, because from the corner of our eye, it, like, I don't know, we just didn't want to see it empty. It just wouldn't feel so lonely and empty without having him here. I know it might sound a little weird, but it helped us at the time. And seeing that napkin from the corner of our eye made us feel in some way that he was still there laying down and that nothing had changed. But in reality, like, it did. A lot changed. I remember I had no close friends at the time, so it was really hard for me. I couldn't get distracted. My sister had left to do some classes, and she had to like live on campus, so I was alone. And my boyfriend, he was in Mexico at the time, so I was like completely alone, and it was just a really hard time for me because, like I said, I was alone. Like, nobody was, I don't think anybody thought how hard it was to lose a pet, so nobody would really check up on me or really find the need to hit me up and just simply ask if I was okay. But it's totally understandable. Everybody goes through situations differently. I can honestly say that it really affected me, because I remember when that incident happened, like, I just completely changed. Since I was so hurt and so sad, it kind of messed with my ability to be more social and outgoing. Like, I know that sounds like to the extreme, but it did. I became less social once that happened. I felt like, I don't know, I just felt really weird. And because if you know me, freshman year, I was very social and very outgoing, and I wasn't as shy as I was throughout my sophomore through senior year of high school. Freshman year, I was always outgoing, and I could honestly say that this loss that I had really did change me, because, like I said, I just became less social because I was just so sad and I was really going through it. And then once I got used to not being social, not being outgoing, like, it was too late. Like, I had already missed out on opportunities because of my shyness. I lost friends because I was really shy. I wasn't able to make as many friends as I would have made if I was ready for what happened, because, like I said, it really did like mess me up, because that was the first time where I really felt sad, and I don't know, it was just a really hard time for me. I was alone. I had nobody. Me and my best friend at the time, we had no type of communication anymore. And yeah, things just went really bad for me that year, and it really changed me. But things happen, people go through situations differently, so yeah. And so about a week after, wait, let me just go back a little. So then when I would be able to talk to my older sister, we would always talk to each other and say, like, do dogs go to heaven? Do animals go to heaven? And we just wanted to like feel comfortable with the feeling that that he wasn't gonna be just gone, that he was going to be like, you know, like we grew up believing in heaven. So we were wondering if they did go to heaven. We were like hoping that they do go to heaven, and I could honestly say that now that all animals do go to heaven. So yeah, we were just really sad. We had so many questions. And then a week after all this happened, we received a letter from the hospital, and I just thought it was so nice of them. And I'm honestly just gonna read this right now for the first time in a long time. So if I get emotional, I'll probably just cut it out, or I don't know. So this one says, the front of it says, and I thought this was so nice of them because they even wrote like with their handwriting and everything. So it says, the front says, a pet is never truly forgotten until it is no longer remembered. Okay, here comes the deep part. Okay, so it says, dear Miranda family, I am so sorry for the loss of Simba. I know how hard it is to lose such a good friend. Simba had a long and wonderful life in your loving home. May his memory give you comfort. Please know you are in our thoughts at this time. And that was the part that they wrote, which I thought that was so nice, and these words definitely comforted me, and obviously it made me cry, but it was really nice of them to have sent this. And yeah, then this part of the card says, we understand how it feels to lose a treasured companion. And so inside of this came a little piece of paper, which said, it's something so long, but it says, the Rainbow Bridge. It says, there is a bridge connecting heaven and earth. It is called the Rainbow Bridge because of its many colors. Just this side of the Rainbow Bridge, there is a land of meadows, hills, and valleys with lush green grass. When a beloved pet dies, the pet goes to this place. There is always food and water and warm spring weather. The old and frail animals are young again. Those who are maimed are made whole again. They play all day with each other. There is only one thing missing. They are no longer with their special person who loved them on earth. So each day that they run and play until the day comes when one suddenly stops playing and looks up. The nose twitches, the ears are up, the eyes are staring, and this one runs from the group. You have been seen, and when you and your special friend meet, you take him or her in your arms and embrace. Your face is kissed again and again and again, and you look once more into the eyes of your trusting pet. Then you cross the Rainbow Bridge together, never again to be separated. And I just thought this was honestly amazing because, like I said, at that moment, I was really alone. So I thought this was really nice of them because obviously it really made me feel better. I went through it. I didn't need anyone to get through it. And yeah, things like these make you realize a lot of things in life. And well, yes, after he passed away, we decided not to have a pet for a really long time. And obviously, if you know me, if you have me on social media, we did get another puppy, another family member back last year, 2019. We got him in August, and we absolutely have gotten so attached to him already. And his name is Scar. We love The Lion King so much, which is why my sister came up with the name Simba. And we always wanted a husky, and we ended up getting half husky, half German Shepherd, which I will be putting a picture up here of my puppy. He is the newest member of the family, and we know we will be going through this again, but at least this time we'll be more prepared, and we'll we have experience with this now, so hopefully it won't be too hard on us, because like I said, we have gone through it already. And I still think of it, and it still hurts to think that we're gonna have to go through that again. But you know, it happens. That's life. It's the circle of life. The only thing we could do is love our animals, treat our animals right, you know, give them love and affection, and most importantly, like, don't forget about them. Obviously, since we were young and we never thought about him passing away, I feel like we could have played a little more with him, show him more love, because we would obviously, but once like he was gone, we would have wished to have hugged him more, kiss him more, you know, play with him more. And that's how everything is. And so yes, if you have gone through this, or if you're going through this, I'm so sorry that you're going through this, but honestly, you will get through it. I know it's hard, but it happens. It's life, and we just have to find a way to get through it. I'm so sorry for everyone who has lost a pet and had a similar experience to mine. And well, yeah, I think that's all I had to say in this video. I basically just told my experience and how it happened and how it impacted me or affected me or whatever. But yes, definitely thank you for listening to me. I'm sorry I got so emotional. It just kind of happened. I knew I was going to get emotional, but I thought I would be able to control it, but I just couldn't. So I'll try to cut off as much crying as possible, but it's totally normal. Like I said, since I am sharing my life with you, I feel like it's only fair if I'm 100. And if I cry, I cry. And I know a lot of people don't like seeing people cry, but honestly, I couldn't help it. And you know, it happens. People cry, and that's totally normal and okay. Yeah, don't forget to show my channel some love. Give me any video suggestions you have for me. And thank you so much for 400 subscribers once again. Thank you so much for watching. I hope everyone is being safe. Cuckoo!